First off, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to sit down with me.
Of course.
Much appreciated. And going with the list of shows you're doing right now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Outlander, which, by the way, totally rocks.
Awesome.
Da Vinci's Demons, Black Sails, who am I missing? Walking Dead, you did Eureka, you did Constantine, you did Battlestar Galactica, and I'm going to stop the list there because I could keep going for a while.
Okay.
How do you keep the music for each show fresh and unique?
Well, it's interesting because each show is so different from the others. That's one of the things that is sort of something I look for when I take on a new project, is I look for something I haven't done before. So I'm jumping from a zombie drama to pirates to superhero super spies to Outlander. And so it actually keeps my creative well refilled because I get to do things that are totally different. I think if I was doing 7 different cop shows, it would probably be more difficult just because of the tendency to repeat yourself. But when you have these different kind of projects, it's actually very easy to be inspired.
So is it risky to ask you, out of all of them, which one's your favorite to work on at the moment?
Oh, I can't pick a favorite child. They all have things about them that make them incredibly unique. They all have their reasons that I took them on, so I won't pick a favorite.
Okay, then the obvious reason that you picked Outlander?
The obvious reason, I mean there's so many, but the obvious reason is I get to finally use bagpipes. Finally! Been doing this for 10 years and only Ron Moore has let me use bagpipes in a show.
Well, and very appropriate.
That was Battlestar. It was Battlestar I used some bagpipes and then Ron Moore, the guy who already let me use bagpipes once, is doing Outlander. Well, this has to happen. This just has to happen. So it was great.
Well, bagpipes, Outlander, Scottish.
It's nice. Everything that I love. Lyrical romance, good characters, the Jacobite uprising, time travel. It's just, it's like a checklist of all my favorite things.
Well, I have to admit, it's one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite book series.
Yeah.
And right now, it's one of my favorite TV shows.
Fantastic.
And half the time, I will watch it.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 times, but the other times, it's playing in the background while I'm working,
oh, cool.
just so that I can listen to it.
Awesome.
So, not sure whether it's the story I'm listening to at that point or the music.
Yeah.
But I don't need to actually be watching it by then because I already know what's going to happen, and the music cues it in.
There you go.
All right, so next question is, how do you avoid everybody else's music permeating your brain as you're composing?
Well, the short answer is you don't. I mean, no one writes in a vacuum. No art is made that's not influenced by everything that the artist has seen, heard, and experienced in their lifetime leading up to that point. So on a sort of fundamental quantum level, you're a different person on Tuesday than you are on the next Thursday, and so everything you experience becomes part of your experience. With music, it's tricky because you can get a song stuck in your head and you start thinking, wow, that's a great song. What is that? And then after a day, you might go like, did I write that? That's cool. And sometimes it turns out you did, and sometimes it turns out you didn't. So I definitely have a lot of people with good musical minds in my life, and every once in a while, usually when I come up with something that's so good, I assume it's not mine. I just assume this is too good. This can't be me. Guys, what is this melody? You heard this before? What is this? Just to double check, before you go too far.
And 9 times out of 10?
Usually it's mine.
Yeah.
Usually it's mine.
All right. I know you've already written about doing the music for the last 2 episodes of season 1.
Yeah.
Having watched it, I have no clue how you guys do that, but how difficult was it for you personally working on those 2 episodes to have the music fit the tone they were going for?
It was immensely difficult. It was difficult on a personal level. It wasn't difficult on a musical level. On a musical level, the last 2 episodes were directly inspiring. The stuff that was horrific and traumatic, I know what to do. I know what to do to help that experience be horrific and traumatic for you.
You did very well with that.
But the process of doing that was very challenging because it was so emotionally draining. I had to put myself in that place to be able to channel that emotion into my music. And if those scenes were disturbing for a viewer, imagine watching them in 30-second loops for hours on end. You watching this 30 seconds for an hour, and then you go to the next 30 seconds for an hour, and you do that for 2 days. It was pretty intense. I actually had sympathy pains in my hand.
Ooh.
During episode 15. You know when.
I know exactly.
And I had to stop. My left hand started to cramp up.
Yep.
I can't do this anymore.
Oh, I know exactly when, because just as a viewer, it was clutching the hand afterwards going, oh my god, that hurt.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, that kind of answered the next question I was going to ask you, which is when you're working on a show like this, are you working strictly from the script, or are you already seeing the filmed work to be able to actually match the film?
Typically, I wait as long as I can, because the later in the process I see the story, if I haven't read the script and I haven't seen even the rough cut, I wait the assembly. I wait till a cut that feels pretty good. The producers are happy with it. I have the most informed experience about what the audience is going to experience. My experience is as close to yours as it's going to get. When I read the script, which I do sometimes, and sometimes I have to, I'm imagining the production design, and I'm acting what the actors are going to do. I'm making a lot of decisions, not on purpose, but you just do. And then it starts informing what I think the music is going to be. And in a way, all of those people after the script that are going to perform it, do the production design, light it, direct it, the actors, the editing, the VFX, all of this will influence me. So I like to let them do their job before I do mine, so that all of their hard work can be channeled into what I do. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Oh wow, you actually answer a bunch of questions as you're going.
Sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine, because I know your time's precious too. So if you had to look at something that's out there maybe not produced yet, but things you've heard rumors of, is there some project out there that would be a dream project for you, or something you wish somebody would do because you'd love to be doing the music for?
I don't really keep my ear to the ground about what's coming up. I mean, I know there's a lot of cool stuff coming up, but a dream project. When I was growing up, I read the John Carter of Mars books, so I was very excited when John Carter came out, because theoretically it was going to be the first book in the series, Princess of Mars, and then we're going to get Gods of Mars, and I knew that series, and I thought, wow, that'll be cool if we're going to be getting these movies every couple of years, and maybe one day I could get to do one of the later ones. That would have been really neat, but I don't know if that's going to be happening, at least in this generation, so hopefully somebody will do that again, because that really was a real classic series of books,
Well, they keep revisiting projects, so you never know.
I know. They may go back, and that really was a treasure trove of science fiction writing there. So maybe one day.
Keep our fingers crossed. So is there any project that either you've done or somebody else has done that leaves you wishing you had a time machine to go back and go, yeah, that needs to be tweaked a little bit, I wish I'd done it differently, or I wish they had done this in there?
That's a tough one, because
like I said, it could be your own project.
Well, I don't want to George Lucas special edition my previous work. But when I go back and I listen to Battlestar Galactica, I hear how much I changed over the course of that project and in the intervening years, and I've changed a lot. But at the same time, the process of doing that made me who I am today. So if I went back and changed it, I would create a time paradox. You know what I mean?
Butterfly effect.
Exactly. So no, I wouldn't go back and change it, even though I think I could get a better string sound now, or I can get a better drum sound now. My thematic writing, I think, is more evolved now. But at the same time, the reason is because of Battlestar, so I would never go back and change it.
I can actually relate to that because I've thought about things in the past and gone, yeah, but if I went back and made a different decision that day, would I be who I am today? Would I be sitting here today with Bear McCreary?
Yeah.
Probably
and it's like,
not.
And if you have the wisdom now to look back at an event early in your life, it means you actually learned from that event. So, look, on a routine basis, I think to myself, God, I wish I knew when I was in my early 20s what I know now. I wish I knew that. But because I figured those things out when I figured them out, I got to where I am. So I guess there's something there.
Okay. In your off time, when you're not, if you have off time.
I was going to say off time?
Yeah. If you have any off time where you're not actually in the midst of composing something, where you're actually just relaxing for yourself.
Yeah. Your
choice of music for yourself.
Boy, well, that's a big if. But, I still listen to a lot of film music. I listen to, I grew up listening to a lot of like rock and roll and heavy metal. I still listen to that.
Okay. Metal bands? Make my editor happy.
Well, System of a Down, Sepultura, Iron Maiden. My gateway was Metallica. I like them. I listen to a lot of Queen. I still listen to a lot of Queen. They're not metal, but they kind of are.
They were more before.
Yeah, but the metal guys borrowed. Freddie put on a show. That kind of stuff.
All right, and then I know you haven't been doing many concerts in the past few years. Obviously, with your schedule, that's tough. Any possibility in the future of more concerts?
Possibilities.
Well, hopefully there'll be some in Southern California. It'd be great to catch one. And then I know your time's almost up. Is there anything, if you were making a recommendation to somebody that was trying to get into music or composing, any kind of recommendation you'd make to them?
I would say to them that they should be passionate about what they do and do their best work no matter what project they can find, even if they can't find a project. Just produce music and do it all the time, and that
Thank you, Thunderbolt.
Yeah. My advice would be, there is always a place in the industry for people that are very good at what they do, very friendly, they don't have ego problems, and they're fun to hang out with. If you do all those things, there is a place for you. And if you find you're struggling in the industry and you're angry that other people are getting jobs, you look at those qualities and you're missing one.
Is there any final things you'd like to share before you have to take off?
I'd just like to say that I'm very excited about Outlander Season 2, and I'm hoping that we'll be doing this for a long, 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 long time.
I hope so too. Actually, I have to get my hands on your CDs because just listening to it while I'm working,
I was going to say,
I need to actually have it with me.
Yeah, that can be arranged. Awesome. This was fun.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
And then I'll figure out how to Hey, back where you were.
This was fun. I got a jet.
It was great meeting you.
This was a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Good luck. Have a good con.
You too.
Thank you.